this video, I want to show you how you can produce a histogram for interval data in the context of example 3.1. First, we go to our live binder, and then I click on datasets, and then I click on XM0301. I click on the icon and open with Microsoft Excel. So my data, which is about the long distance telephone bills, is in column A. I have to first specify what intervals I consider for my histogram. So I click on this column and label it as bins, and then I specify the endpoints of the intervals which I have chosen. The first interval starts at 0 and ends at 15, so I enter 15. And the next interval starts at 15 and ends at 30, so I enter 30. Same way, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, and 120. Now I have specified the intervals, and I can proceed to produce the histogram. I click on data, and then I click on data analysis. There are lots of tools available in data analysis. The one that I need is histogram. Click on histogram, and I click on OK. I have to specify the input range of my data. So I click on the first cell for my data, and I drag it to cover all the data that is available. So this data extends to row 201. Then I have to specify the bin range. So I do the same for the bin range. I click on the first cell and drag it until the last one. In both of these columns, I have labels in the first cell. So I click on labels. The output range is where I want my histogram to appear. So I click on output range and click on where I have to specify, and then I click on any cell wherever I want my histogram to appear. I click on this cell. I go back, and then I click chart output. I click OK. Here is the frequency table for all these intervals. And then here is the histogram. What you see is that the rectangles are a little bit far from each other. To get them a little bit closer, right click, and then click on Format Data Series. And in the gap width, make it close to 0, as much as you want. So I make it this close to 0 with a little gap so that the rectangle are distinguished. Then other problem that I have to fix is that though 15 is the endpoint for the first interval, it appears in the middle of the interval. But the middle point of this interval from 0 to 15 is 7.5. Same is true for all the other intervals. So I want to change these numbers so that they show the midpoint. In order to change these numbers, I use these cells which have the same data. So I click on the first cell and type equal. I click on the first cell of column B, which contains the data, and then minus 7.5, and I press enter. So this one is already fixed. I click on that one, I click on the right lower corner, and I drag it down. So as you see, every endpoint has been shifted 7.5 to the left, and now it shows the midpoint, and it has already changed in the histogram chart. That's the fixing that I needed to do. So my histogram is already ready. You can change the title and write like histogram for long distance phone call. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.